Good morning, YouTube. We're out here. Finally got some cooler weather. I think it's about 45 degrees this morning. So today we're going to try to get the last of this all split up from the big hickory tree I've been working on all the last 2 months, honestly. So we're going to work on getting this split up. Got a few logs left to buck, and we'll get the 400 out and trim some of these things up and get them down. Working with the 17R, the Wolfe Ridge 17RS with the log lift and auto cycle. That's a game changer for me. So once we get that done, if we got any time left over, I've still got quite a bit of these huge slabs, these huge rounds over here to deal with. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with that chunk. That thing is massive. I'll probably try to noodle right through, this is hard, right through there and cut that off, and then maybe I can get a couple of good rounds out of that piece. I don't know yet. It's gonna be tough. Then we get all that done. I got this hickory tree hidden in all them brushes and limbs. That's gonna be some nice wood. It's perfectly straight, not very big. It'll be beautiful firewood. So we're gonna try to get all this done, and then we'll go back to doing the wood service and Facebook Marketplace wood. Ugh. But it is what it is. The oiler on these 400s just doesn't quite put out enough oil. I need to do the upgrade for the 461 oiler on it, because you see there's a half a tank or better of oil in there, and I was almost out of gas, and I had the oiler turned all the way up. So that's kind of next on the to-do list with this thing. It does have a mild port job. We have a fantastic saw shop, local saw shop called D&D Enterprises, and they do a pretty basic port job on them, but you can see there, cost, I think they charge 150 bucks to do it, so you really can't beat it. But I tell you, this saw is, if you were gonna buy one saw, this is the one. It just does anything you need it to do. It's a great machine. So let's trim some knots up and cut some of these rounds in half, and then we'll get to splitting. That's a 25-inch bar with a skip tooth chain on it. This saw, it runs really well with the skip tooth, not so much with the full comp. Just pulls him down. These 400s, they like to rev, like they need to rev to the moon. They don't have a lot of torque, just big RPMs and high chain speed. So that full skip chain is where it's at. wadded up mess, and I'm trying to work my way through. Been cutting my way up at a little bit at a time to get. I'll just work through it backwards, what a guy normally would. beloved half worn out 211C out. I'm going to trim up on this mess a little bit here. Win any races with this little saw, but I'll tell you what, it sure is nice to have. that, folks, is why I love this little saw. Yeah, it's a homeowner saw. It's a clamshell, it's a piece of junk, but I can tell you, this saw rode on the front of a dirt bike for thousands of miles. Right on the front fender, I had a scabbard for it, rode on a number plate just like that. And I would hate to know how many miles of trail that little saw's actually cut. It just keeps on running and running and running. The good thing about it is whenever it finally dies, you throw it in a trash can and go get a new one. I mean, it says here it's a 2019, so it's not as old as I thought. I've had it 6 years, but that saw's got more time than any of those three, well, than all three of those combined. And I've never done nothing to it. Put the little 14-inch cheap El Cheapo bar on it from a farm store and just run it. So don't sleep on those little guys. This is a good little saw. It just, for me, I don't have much use for it. I got my 400. I got my 211 for lemon. This is kind of a tweener saw that, I don't know, I don't use it much. If I had it to do all over again, what I would have done was not bought the 661 or the 400, and I would have bought a 500. I really enjoy the 400 and the 661, but the 500 would have done everything I needed, and then I would have had the 500 and the 261, and it would have been a perfect setup for what I do. I mean, you can see this is some property that we're on, and I cut these trees down as they die. There's a walnut tree there that'll probably, it's starting to die out, but there's a lot of trees on this property that'll provide firewood for my parents for gosh, 10 years. And then I sell just a little on the side just to maybe support my habit a little bit here, but that's about it. Well, there we have it, folks. Started at 8 this morning. It's 11:30 now. Come down. This is kind of my happy place. So we split probably about 2 ricks of wood. That's a 6x12 dump trailer. It's stacked up pretty good inside there. So you can see this is some really nasty hickory tree. I mean, it just makes a mess when I'm splitting, but hey, it is what it is. The tree was down. Don't have much left to go, but it's starting to rain and I've got places to be. So I've almost got this done. And then we went over here, got the chainsaws out and played with them for just a little bit, and cut this other little hickory tree up that was down. I just got a lot of cleanup to do on it. You can see there, all this is just wadded up, tangled mess of brush, but there's some really good rounds in there, all through there. So that'll be, and then up in the top, there's still quite a bit of wood in there even. So that'll be a nice little tree to split up. And then at some point, I got to get those guys. And holy cow, I'm going to have to noodle them down into 8ths or something because they're just huge. So there you have it. Played with the old 400, played with the 261, played with the 211. The only saw we didn't get out today was the 661, and I just didn't have nothing to cut with it today, but it's in the truck. I take all my saws every time I go cut wood. I just grab them all because you just never know, and I like to play with them. So but yeah, pretty solid day until got rain on my neck. So until next time, we'll see you again. Thanks, bye.